The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by WellMed. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning to all of our fabulous friends listening in on this beautiful Florida Tuesday morning, July 27th, 2021. I am your host extraordinaire, Gary Owen.
And I am your host unextraordinaire, Tom Bouvier.
I don't think you're unextraordinaire, Tom, but nonetheless, Bouv and I are bringing you live in the WSTU studio in downtown Stuart, Florida, the selfish capital of the world, the world-famous Quality of Life radio show. And my guests are looking at us like we have 25 heads and 14 eyeballs. By the way, Tom, people can catch us how? And they can tune in.
WSTU AM 1450.
Very good.
WPSL 1590 AM.
Very good.
WSTUTV.com.
Very good.
Live stream or
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live.
All right. So for those of you that are watching live this morning on Facebook, thanks for tuning in. And Tom, you're on a roll this morning, so why don't you just tell us why we're here?
Oh, what kind of role I'm on, I don't know. But Gary, we come here every Tuesday morning, most importantly, to bring relevant content to all of our listeners. And then secondly, we love to showcase and support local businesses, organizations, such as our guest here today. And thirdly, you and I love to provide information and education about insurance planning to help people live a stress-free life and to improve their quality of life.
Yeah, and speaking of relevant content, for everybody that's listening, we've got some real valuable information. Tom and I put together the top 10 tips that you should know about Medicare. So if you're 64, even if you're 63 years of age, you're approaching Medicare, the content that we have for you this morning is imperative that you should know. Because I tell you right now, the decisions you make today related to your Medicare can last a lifetime. And it's important to get it right the first time. We had a call this morning from a prospective client who had some issues because she made the wrong decision 2 years ago when she enrolled in a Medicare plan. And we'll share some of that information with you this morning. And you say, Gary, well, listen, I'm not close to Medicare age, but maybe your parents are.
That's right.
Maybe your friends or family members are. Everyone needs to know this. And if you're not there yet, I guarantee you, you're going to get there sooner or later.
Absolutely. You can never learn too early in life about Medicare, especially if you've been paying into it for all these years. You want to know where your investment is going and how you're going to benefit one day from the Medicare health
Tom, it's
insurance.
just amazing the misinformation that's out there. And in fact, I had another person in my office Saturday, and I asked him, he's 67, and I asked him, well, how did you go about choosing your Medicare plan? And so I said, let me guess, because I'm confused. My phone's ringing off the hook. I'm getting mail, just clogging my mailbox. And he said, I just threw it all away. And I said, let me guess. You probably went to your neighbor and asked what he was on. And that's what you enrolled in, right? He goes, that's exactly what I did. So we're going to provide you phenomenal information here today that you need to know, and that will help you avoid the pitfalls related to Medicare. So we'll share that with you on the second half of the show. But we're excited to introduce this morning the president and CEO of the Jensen Beach Chamber of Commerce, Ron Rose, as well as Lisa Tufo of Jensen Beach. And she's the Membership Engagement Advisor. Is that MEA? Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
So, Ron, good morning. So, tell us a little bit about yourself first, and we'll go to Lisa because I know she's dying to get on the microphone. So tell us a little bit about your background and what you got you to the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, well, first I want to tell you I'm currently on Medicare. I'm just...
Come on. Soon you will be.
No, I'm there.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm 70.
No way.
I'm 70 years old.
Bless his little heart. Look,
I hope it's...
He's looking good for 70.
Absolutely.
Wow, I figured now to take at least 10 years off, and that's you're looking good. The Chamber of Commerce is treating you very well. What's all those pineapples you're eating?
Exactly. healthy lifestyle, right?
Yes,
The
indeed.
Jensen Beach, laid back, Key West style.
I love it, baby. That's right.
So you had asked me about my background. I have a degree in public relations from West Virginia University. And while I was there, I was in charge of, I was in student government, and I was in charge of all the events at the school. So I was in charge of like homecoming and Mountaineer Week and all those different events, speakers, things like that. So I kind of had kind of started into that kind of interest when I went to Morris Harvey College in Charleston. But Charleston, West Virginia.
Are you from Charleston?
No, I was
area?
from Athens, Ohio, where Ohio University was.
Okay.
But like every other person, they want to go and get out of the house
Yes.
and not go to school where they live. Right. So then at West Virginia University, I got involved in all those kind of events. So it kind of threw me into an interest in promoting tourism in the state of West Virginia. So my fraternity I was in, we were in charge of the Miss West Virginia pageant, and was Miss West Virginia University pageant. And our winner would usually go to the Miss America pageant. And so actually, interesting part of history is I dated the John Benet Ramsey's mom for a little while, Patsy Ramsey.
Interesting.
During my time there. So when all that happened on TV, my mouth dropped and it was like,
Wow.
but anyway, so I just got involved in tourism. I got a job right out of college promoting tourism for the state of West Virginia. I did that for about 8 years. And then I worked for the Attorney General for a little while in consumer protection. And then my parents had property down here. So like most tourists during this time of the year, they're staying at their parents' or their relatives' house so they can have someplace free to stay.
That's right.
Why everybody else is up north. So I came down here for that. And
What year was that?
80s, early 80s.
Okay.
I graduated in the 70s, so it'd be 80.
Okay.
In the 80s. And so then I saw a little ad in the newspaper, thought I could do that, become the executive director of the Jensen Beach Chamber of Commerce, little ad in the paper. So they told me the deadline was at 5:00 that day. So I scurried around and went down there, turned my application in. And it's interesting because it's a lot of times in small towns, an outsider is very hard to get in. So I was a lot of things just kind of like fell in the right place and just happened. And fate, so be it. I believe in fate. So
Yes, sir.
I got the job in 88, and then they wanted to start a festival promoting the community's 100th centennial anniversary. And so they wanted to just do this one-off event, right? And I said, so why are we going to put all this time into a one-off event and then not do it year after year after year if you're going to put all that money into it? So we started the Pineapple Festival back in 88, and our first entertainer was Marie Osmond. Right. And it was very kind of an emotional thing because a lot of people in Ocean Breeze at that time and in the community, there was never a big name entertainer here. Lyric Theater really wasn't up and running. There's only Martin County Fair, the art show, and Dance in the Streets were going.
Did you do any entertaining?
Me?
Yeah. Were you
I
singing?
ran around.
Were you singing or?
Well, my mom at that time.
Hula skirt?
No. I dressed up like a pineapple. Ran around in
That was
tights.
How
entertainment.
sweet.
That was very beautiful.
Yeah.
Then I helped lead the parade, which Francis Langford at the time was our parade marshal back in the day. So that was the first part.
A lot of great history.
Yeah, and then I left the chamber and went to, I was executive director of the Sanford Chamber and the Mount Dora Chamber, and went to New York City for a stint, for about a year, and worked for Eddie Adams, who is a Pulitzer Prize winning photographer. Worked for him for about a year, and then came back down here. My mom was getting where she needed somebody with her, and my father was going back and forth to Ohio, where I was from. So I came back down here. They fired the guy from the chamber that was there for some reason,
And you stepped back in.
I can't believe that's fate again. Just being in the right time at the right place, and started the Pineapple Festival back up again. And it's um, which is what I believe kind of was very helpful in putting Jensen Beach on the map with the goal of Jensen Beach being a tourist destination.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. I want to kind of bring Lisa in here for just a second because I know she's dying to talk to everybody out there. Lisa, so tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us today. We're very, very grateful to be here, Gary and Tom.
It's good to have you.
Yeah. So my family's been here since 2012. We came my husband had an opportunity through some friends of the family to come, and we just kind of rolled the dice and decided to come to South Florida to see if that would work. And so at the time, my daughter was going into high school and my son was going into middle school. So I was pretty much a stay-at-home mom for 6 years. So I was really never home. Both my kids did competitive sports. So every weekend I was either at a wrestling tournament or a cheer tournament, year after year after year. And when my son ended up going out of the house to college, I kind of had to reinvent myself because so much of what I did was, surrounded with, I had a chair for the Jensen Beach High School PTSA. So I was very involved with everything that they did. So anyways, when my son went to college, I just was drawn into the chamber, just trying to reinvent myself. And as fate had it, they kind of recruited me in and actually tried to do something else that didn't work out, but they brought me in, and I love the community and I love people. And I think it's really been working out the last 3 years.
So 3 years with the chamber, we see you out there everywhere. You're constantly out in the community and doing ribbon cuttings and meeting and greeting and shaking hands and kissing babies and hugging.
That's my favorite part, is the events and just getting people together and encouraging the support for all the new businesses. I want to see everyone do well, and ribbon cuttings are kind of like the congratulatory acknowledgement of a new business, new hope. I think it's fabulous. So I'm very, very excited to be a part of it and genuinely support the new businesses.
All right. Fantastic. So I want to real quick, before we go on a break, we got 2 minutes before we head to break. Ron, give me a 2-minute rundown on how the Jensen Beach Chamber of Commerce is helping small businesses in the Martin County area.
Our chamber is focused on, we're kind of known as a tourist-driven, event-driven chamber. So awareness is probably a huge part of what we do for our local business community, Jensen Beach, Hutchinson, Sewell's Point, Rio, those areas, North Stewart. And we work hard to put that on the map and to make sure that people that are visiting here and to live here are constantly reminded of the opportunity that they could go there and have a meal, shop, have services get available to them by the businesses that offer services. So I think one of the things that we do, and we do really, really well, is keep the name Jensen Beach out there, keep people aware of it, and then give people an opportunity through our chamber events to get involved and to relate to each other, refer each other, and become friends.
I love the Jensen Beach Chamber and love the members. How many members do you have currently in the chamber now?
We fluctuate. We're right around the 500 number.
Very nice. Very good. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. We're going to ask Ron and Lisa some more deep, engaging questions. She's like, oh, God, no, don't pick me. Don't pick me. You're listening to the Quality of Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Gary Owen, and Tom the Bouvier. And hang tight. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back from our very short break. You're listening to the world famous Quality of Life radio show. A big thank you to one of our sponsors, Lot Insurance. If you could take the switch, thank you very much. He seemed to do that to me quite frequently recently.
Sorry.
You know, I'm trying to teach and retrain Mr. Evan Nine here in the studio. But anyway, Lot Insurance Services, you can trust them for all of your home, auto, boat, and business insurance needs. If you're looking to save a lot, call the Lot Brothers. They're located on US 1, just north of Midway Road in St. Lucie County. And also, we want to give a shout out to Margaret Tanner, our lovely lady with WellMed Medical. She's one of our sponsors here of the show. And by the way, do you know that a good primary care physician is in great demand? And it's amazing that, you know, Tom and I always are talking to consumers and prospects and clients out there that don't have a primary care physician. So if you don't have one or you're not happy with the one that you currently have, check out WellMed Medical for all your primary care needs. And they have 4 convenient locations located right here in the Treasure Coast. So before we went on, well, actually, when we went on break, I was asking Lisa about some membership opportunities with the Jensen Beach Chamber of Commerce. And I happen to be a proud member of the Jensen Beach Chamber of Commerce. I love what they do, love the mission, and love the members. The CEO is a little questionable, but you know, we can see past that every once in a while. But Lisa, he's giving me the evil eye.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, he's agreeing with me. Okay. So Lisa, you're in charge of membership. So why don't you kind of explain to our audience what the chamber offers to small business owners?
Sure. So our office, we have a new office. We're located in downtown Jensen Beach. We're the old community center where we also house the Jensen Beach History Museum. So this chamber has been around for 71 years. Wow. So this is exciting for us to be here. It's not always been at this location, but this is relatively new for us since January. Our office works as a visitors information and referral center, a resource center where we promote and refer the members of our chambers. We have a wide outreach from Vero Beach all the way to West Palm Beach. And basically our members give us their promotional items, their marketing material. And for all of our visitors that come in, our locals, our new residents, guests, asking us, where do we take our dog to the vet? Where do we go have dinner? Where should we stay? Where should we live? And our job there is to refer our members. We have a lot of great services. We have a welcome beach bucket we give to all of our new residents, which our members all participate in. We have our business cards wall that we distribute their business cards. We have flyers, brochures, maps. It's just a great place to come and visit if you're coming through town. And everybody pretty much stops there because we're a dining destination there. And they want to just know where to go, from Hutchinson Island to Rio, Sewell's Point, even Port St. Lucie and Stewart. So the chamber's also responsible for all the major festivals downtown, from Ron started the Pineapple Festival, Jam and Jensen every Thursday, St. Patrick's Day Parade, Taste of Jensen, the Jensen Beach Fine Arts and Crafts Shows. So there's always, and Ron does that. We have some volunteers, and we're just a staff of 3, really. So it's a big thing to do. So.
Well, you do a really great job. There's no question about it. And for our small business owners out there, let's say that they may be interested in joining the chamber and they're not sure what the cost is. What would you recommend to them?
So they can go on our website. We have different levels of membership from nonprofits rates all the way to luminary trustee. Every membership level has different benefits that we offer. And it just depends on the business, how many employees they have, what kind of services they're looking for. But everybody is welcome in at any level. We just welcome all members of the chamber, regardless of the level. It just depends on the size of the business.
What's the website they can go to check out that information?
It's www.jensenchamber.com.
That's it. jensenchamber.com. That's pretty easy to remember that. So, all right. So, Ron, I want to go back to you and circle back. What gave you the idea for obviously we know Jensen Beach history, pineapple plantation and so forth, but what gave you the idea of starting the Pineapple Festival way back in the 80s?
What was interesting is it was the sea turtle capital of the world. That's what it was known as. And so when I first got into the job, we were doing turtle walks. Excuse me, we were doing turtle walks, and I was promoting the sea turtle. They said, you can't do that. They're endangered. I said, but that's your community symbol. And they go, but you can't promote it. It's an endangered, So I basically, when I was doing the research and saw John Jensen had started pineapple plantations, and then my tourism background is pineapples, welcome, and then they were going to do this antique boat parade for the celebration of centennial. It just made sense to have a pineapple festival started to really promote the history of the community. Not like a festival that honors a crop when it's and then we got into a relationship with Eleuthera in the Bahamas, who grew pineapples, and we built a sister city relationship with them. And that's been going on for more than 20 years. So we go over there to their pineapple festival. But, the times have changed. So the future of the pineapple festival at the size of it was in the past is somewhat in doubt because of issues of changing in property owners and space limitations and, cost of putting on events like that. But in my opinion, the Pineapple Festival over the 30 years did its job, and it put the community on the map. And as what Lisa had said earlier, we believe that by promoting downtown Jensen Beach through events and as a destination point, that anybody, we believe, in Stewart, Port St. Lucie, from even Prima Vista down west, St. Lucie West, eventually people are going to come to downtown Jensen Beach because they know about it, and eventually going to walk in our door. And we find that even having a map that we can hand people and a guide that we can hand people is still real popular, even though most people can get a lot of their information online on our website and through discovermartin.org. We believe that from what we're seeing is that people really still like to have stuff put in their hands.
I can't believe that there are people in our community that still haven't been to downtown Jensen Beach.
That's the point.
Crazy.
We try our best to make sure that doesn't happen. And then, of course, because of my interest in tourism and my background in tourism and promotion and development, we find that a lot of our visitors are coming from South Florida, and our occupancy rates are 100% over in there right now, even in the summer. So at the Hutchinson Shores Resort and Spa, for example, Courtyard by Marriott, Vistana Beach Club, great occupancy rates, which is good news. So, and having that hotel open up out there has been a big boost to our community, because we're full of small mom and pops. We have one major corporate headquarters, international corporate headquarters there, which is STS Aviation. And other than that, we're small mom and pops and tourist driven businesses.
So I understand that if you join the chamber, Jensen Beach Chamber, you walk in and Ron will serve you a cold, frothy pineapple cocktail once he collects your money. Is that true, or is that a misnomer? Is it inaccurate?
Well, there's a lot.
Depends on the time of day.
There's a lot of rumors about me. That one could be one of them, and we could possibly.
I've never heard a rumor about you, Ron.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you haven't been here very long. How long have you been here?
35 years.
Well, then I can't believe that you haven't heard a rumor about Ron.
No,
squeaky clean.
Well, they said it wasn't a rumor. They said it was the truth. So
yeah. Well, some people, it depends on which side of the fence you're on, I guess, right?
That's funny stuff. Tom, you have you and I have both partied in downtown Jensen Beach. We've enjoyed the restaurants,
Crawdaddies.
Yes,
Even,
great place.
and let's not forget Harbor Bay Plaza too.
Absolutely,
it's our area.
Yes,
Mulligan's.
Yeah, we had a nice little after hours event there. It's a great place, great chamber, great people. If you're a small business owner here on the Treasure Coast and you haven't contacted or been on the website for the Jensen Beach Chamber, highly recommend you check it out. Talk to the magnificent Lisa Tufo, and she will be happy to take a check. Just make sure that there's money in the account when you give it to her, and get engaged in the chamber. I mean, so many times, and I belong to all the chambers, but so many times I hear people say, well, I never get anything out of the chamber. And the first question I ask is, well, what do you put into the chamber? I don't really attend that many meetings and so forth. So, I mean, even for myself, and I'll say it to myself and I'll say it to anybody else that's out there, you get as much out of this organization or any organization that you put into it. So it's important to get engaged, stay engaged in the chambers, and definitely check out Jensen Beach. And for those of you who are listening this morning and you have not been to downtown Jensen Beach, go dip your toes in the water. Go check out the restaurants. Go check out downtown. Enjoy it. It's a great vibe. I mean, the vibe is just unique from any other community that's on the Treasure Coast.
But I might add, when we focus on downtown Jensen Beach, a lot of people might think, well, why aren't they focusing on me up on US 1 or me in Harbor Bay Plaza or other places? But what we found is that how people perceive Jensen Beach as a place is a lot of that's driven by how they view our downtown area. So if you have a Jensen Beach address and people perceive the name Jensen Beach well, then it's going to be helpful to any business located from US 1 to Hutchinson Island, anywhere around. And that's one of the reasons why our chamber focuses so much on keeping the quaintness and the downtown area as a attraction, as a viable tourist attraction.
I remember coming to Jensen Beach back in the early 80s to visit my brother who was going to school at FIT. They once had a branch down there.
And our chamber was very instrumental in being a part of having the county purchase that and turn that into a park.
And they did a great job.
Right.
We love that area.
Right. That was one of the big projects the chamber had back there in the early times when I was first there.
So if you want more information, you can go to the website, www.jensenbeachchamber.com.
Jensen Chamber.
Jensen Chamber. So I was making sure you were paying attention, Ron.
Well, you know what's interesting.
JensenChamber.com.
What was interesting is we had all kinds. You know how we always change to try to improve, and even try to our best to have a benefit for a business that might not get involved as much as we would like, but there's still benefit to them to being a part of it. But we just remembered that everybody over the years have been saying the Jensen Chamber, Jensen Chamber, Jensen Chamber. So we're basically saying, why isn't our website Jensen Chamber, and why isn't our email jensenchamber.com? And it was just like we all looked, even our website, the person who does our website basically was like, why didn't we think of this before? Over like the last 30 years, it makes kind of sense, but jensenchamber.com, very easy to remember.
It is very good. Well, any final thoughts from Lisa before we move on to what Tom and I are going to talk about, the top 10 tips you should know about Medicare? Lisa, final thoughts.
Final thoughts is we have 3 basic events every month. So there's always an opportunity for members to engage. We have our Mix and Mingle, our business after hours, which is typically the second Tuesday of every month. We have our membership luncheons, which are the third Thursday of every month. And we have our breakfast, which we are having this Thursday.
Yes, Thursday. I'm going to try to be there.
Great. We would love to have you, Gary. It's going to be on the second floor in our community center. I wanted to also say we have a second floor event venue center, which we have our breakfasts now.
Where do we park?
Anywhere.
Ron's house.
My house is right down the street. No, there's plenty of parking there, especially for the breakfast.
Yeah,
but you know, one thing that you always you used to gauge success on with the events, it's how much trash you emptied, right? That kind of showed you how much
absolutely
how much success you had. But also having parking issues. I went through that in Sanford in Mount Dora. When you have parking issues, it kind of like underscores the fact that there's something successful going on.
Absolutely.
So
It's a great
plenty of
community.
places to park.
Yeah, great community, great chamber. Check it out. www.jensenchamber.com. Did I get it right that time?
You got it.
All right. Yeah, it only takes me a few times, and
I know. And how old are you?
26.
All right, gotcha.
Multiply that times 2. All right. So I want to make sure that everyone is aware of the fact that especially our seniors, and with what's going on with this nasty nonsense COVID coming back with a vengeance again with this crazy Delta variant BS. But I want to make sure that seniors are aware, especially those seniors who are homebound and can't get out, who can't go and get a COVID shot. You have the opportunity to have free transportation to and from the location of where you want to get a shot. Or if you absolutely cannot leave your home, they will come to you and give you a vaccination at your home at the front door. So if you're interested, you can call 1-800-96-ELDER. That's 1-800-963-5337. No matter what side of the politics you're on related to COVID, I don't think this is a political issue, but nonetheless, I'm not here to espouse my political views. But seeing what's going on with COVID, the crisis out here, I think more and more people need to get vaccinated. But nonetheless, if you're interested and you can get out and you need to have a vaccination, call 1-800-96-ELDER. It's 1-800-963-5337. All right. So, Tom, we need to transition to the top 10 tips you should know about Medicare. Before we do that, we're going to take our final break of the hour, and then you and I are going to come back with a vengeance, and we're going to edumacate.
I like education.
All right. You're listening to the Quality of Life radio show. Thanks for tuning in. WSTU 1450 AM and WPSL 1590 AM, the world's finest radio show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back to the Quality of Life radio show. And we want to also give a big thank you to another sponsor, Tom.
Absolutely. And Did you know that you can enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes access to our statewide provider network?
No, I didn't know that.
You did not know that. Well, Gary, we're here to educate and
Edumacate.
bring information to you. And that's why you can actually take advantage of a plan from United Healthcare. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, you can get more for your Medicare dollar, including benefits like zero copays for covered preventative dental services, zero copays for lab services, access to the United Healthcare Medicare National Network. So talk to a licensed representative today about United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, and you can find a licensed representative right here at Owen Insurance Group. Just call us at 772-210-1020 or
772-210-1020.
That's right.
So either number can get you directly to us. Oh, wait a minute. It is the same number. But
It is.
But your way sounds
I
better
never
than your
knew
way
that.
sounds better than my way.
No.
All right. So listen up. This is now we're gonna put our game face on, and now this is gonna be serious. Top 10 tips you should know about Medicare. And I will tell you this unequivocally. If you don't know what you're on, and if you don't get it right, the day will come where you wish you had gotten it right, because I can tell you, we field so many phone calls on a daily basis of clients who are on the wrong plan. They thought they were on X, but they're on B. Okay. So Tom and I put together, we brainstormed. It took about 32 seconds. And we put the top 10 tips that you should know about Medicare. Basically, the top 10 questions that we get from our clients. And Tom, why don't you take number one?
Sure, Gary. That's people say, when should I apply for Medicare? How and where? So Medicare allows people who are turning 65 to apply for their Medicare 100 days prior to the month that they turn 65. Now, if an individual is currently receiving Social Security benefits, because you can begin receiving as low as age 62, then you would automatically be mailed your Medicare red, white, and blue card, Part A and Part B. So for those who are not receiving their Social Security benefits, you can call Social Security and apply for Medicare over the phone through a website, or make an appointment with the local Social Security office.
And real quick, Tom, let me interject that if you listen, you probably want to bring a nice novel with you to read if you decide to go to the Social Security office, or hang on the phone, because it's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour before someone picks up the phone. But if you want to do it online, that is the most convenient and most easy way to do it. If you want to not elect taking Social Security benefits, but you just want to enroll in Part B only, call my office and we will send you the link on the Social Security website that will take you right to the Part B enrollment. So that way you're not signing up for your Social Security benefits. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone's aware of that.
Right. And some people ask the question, what if I do not sign up for Part B within that 7-month period called the initial election period? Well, if you don't have credible insurance coverage, maybe you have like the VA or an employee group coverage, and you say, I don't want to pay for Part B, which has a premium, you would be subject to a 10% per year penalty if you go without Part B, if you enroll in the future. So as Gary said earlier, getting things right in the beginning, just like a pilot, if they're off one little degree, after a certain amount of time, you'll be 100 miles, 200, 1,000 miles off from where you want to be.
Absolutely.
So getting it right in the beginning is one thing I really learned from Gary several years ago for people's Medicare. It's so important to get it right in the beginning.
All right, number 2, how much do I pay for my Medicare Part A and Part B? Well, if you have 40 quarters or 10 years of work history, your $471 a month Part A premium is absolutely free. So you do not pay for Part A as long as you've worked 40 quarters, equivalent to 10 years. Now, there are people that come in and they have 30 to 39 quarters. That premium is reduced to $259, but depending on how many quarters you need, I just tell them, make it up, because really a quarter, as we know, covers a 3-month period of time. and you only need to earn about $1,500 during that 3-month period of time to qualify for a quarter credit. So I highly recommend that you consider doing that. And by the way, the Part B premium, the base or tier 1 premium is $148.50 a month for those individuals who are making $88,000 less a year or less. If you file jointly, it's $176,000 a year. Now, what happens if you make more than 107? If you're married filing jointly, you're making $178,000 a year. Well, guess what?
More money.
You're going to pay more money. Now it's going to be $207.90 a month. Quite a jump from $148.50. So Social Security and Medicare, they go back 2 years to take a look at what your income was when you were 63, and they will determine what your Part B premium is. So that's why Tom and I are advocates about make sure that you talk to us when you're 63, and make sure that you talk to your CPA, because due to IRMAA, the income-related monthly adjusted amount, there are 6 tiers in your Part B premium that you could achieve. In fact, the highest, if you're making, if you're single and you're making more than $500,000 a year, congratulations. You're at the top of the bracket, and you're going to be paying probably around $505 a month for your Part B premium. And there are people that have that. We have clients that are paying the Part B IRMAA surcharge of that kind of amount. And of course, they always bellyache about how much money they have to pay. And I said, suck it up, Buttercup. You're making a lot of money. Come on. So, of course, they chuckle and they say, yeah, you're right. And then they're happy to pay it. And then we can talk to them about a supplement plan that adds on to that. And by the way, as Tom alluded to earlier, if you're 62 and you're taking Social Security benefits, you will automatically get your Medicare A and B card in the mail. Where it's called the MBI, the Medicare Beneficiary Identifier. It's a 4-character number, letters and numbers on your new Medicare card. You will get that in the mail. And if you're not taking Social Security, as we said before, you have to apply. Number 3, Tom.
Some people ask, should I even do anything beyond getting my red, white, and blue card? In other words, should I just stay with my red, white, and blue card and maybe add a Part D, which is a prescription drug plan? And one thing Gary and I show all of our clients who ask that question, and is that if you only stay on Medicare, as a matter of fact, I have an individual lady that I'll be working with during the open enrollment to get her on a plan. She's been on just Medicare for 11 years. She has not had a supplement. She has not chose a Medicare Advantage plan. And every time she goes into the hospital, she will be dinged with a $1,448 deductible. Now, that would carry her for 60 days. And then after that, it could be $371 a day up to day 90, 91 to 150 days, $742 per day. 151 days or more, you're on your own. Medicare does not cover you beyond 150 days in the hospital if you only have the Medicare card. And that's for hospitalization. For Part B, the medical, the doctor visits, durable medical equipment, outpatient surgeries, things of that nature. You would have to pay the first $203 and then 20% after that. So one thing about being just on original Medicare for your medical is that there's no out-of-pocket maximum. There's no ceiling. There's no cutoff. If you have catastrophic issues or heart surgery or heart transplant or something really catastrophic, or ongoing dialysis, for example, you actually would have no limit to what you could owe. It's $500,000 bill. You potentially could be stuck with 20% of that. So there are some remedies to that. So that's the kind of the bad news. But anyway,
if you're a multi-billionaire, well, why not stay on original Medicare? I mean, you've got money to burn. But most people don't want to burn through their money, so save it. And that's one of the choices out of 3 that you have when you are going on Medicare, whether to stay on original Medicare A and B and enroll in a Part D plan, which we don't really recommend that,
right?
Because of the out-of-pocket expenses and the gaps that original Medicare has, or you can enroll in an Advantage plan or a supplement plan. We're going to touch on that in just a second. Question number 4 that we get. Gary, I don't take a prescription drug, so I don't want to enroll in a Part D plan. Well, I get what you're saying, but I want you to show me your crystal ball that you have under your bed. Like, what are you talking about? I don't have a crystal ball. Well, you must have a crystal ball because you said you're not taking any drugs, so you must know for the next year or two you're not going to have a stroke, you're not going to have a pre-existing condition arise, so you're not going to be taking any drugs. Congratulations. I want to touch your crystal ball. But nonetheless, it is not wise to not take a Part D plan. Number one, what happens if you need a tier 2, 3, or 4 drug 3 months from now when you enroll in Part D or Medicare? And not to mention the fact that you will have a 1% penalty per month tacked onto your Part D premium until you enroll. So it's not the end of the world, the Part D premium penalty, but nonetheless, who wants to pay penalties? So that's my take on prescription drugs.
Absolutely. And number 5, I'm still working. Should I stay on my employer plan or enroll in Part B? That is the $1 million question. And that is something that Gary and I can help you determine, and to really look at what plan you have, kind of talk to the plan administrator. Should you add something and have a primary and secondary? Should you just stay with your employee group coverage, or are you paying out of the pocket for that? Whereas you could just pay the Part B premium, get on a Medicare supplement plan, and be paying much less and get much better coverage. So we help decipher and go walk through it all, and we deal with our clients in a fiduciary manner, meaning we have a moral and legal obligation to recommend what is best for you. So we will help you look at all the options if you have employee coverage and if you can continue it. And some companies say once you turn 65, boom, you're off the company dole. Get on Medicare, because they don't want to pay. So each company has their own rules. So it's not a one size fits all in regarding answering that question.
And by the way, to Tom's point, I mean, it depends on the number of employees. I mean, if you have 20 employees or less, then what typically happens is if you do enroll in Part B, your Part B, your Medicare is primary and the group plan is secondary. It's just the reverse of that if you have 100 or more employees. But to Tom's point, I mean, we will conduct an analysis for you. It doesn't cost you anything. And we do this all the time. And I'll tell you, typically about 80% of the time, we find that it's advantageous for the consumer to go on a Medicare plan and get off the group plan, because it's going to save them premium, and it's going to save them from having a $6,000 to an $8,000 deductible down to typically a $203 deductible. But anyway, number 6, how should I choose the best Medicare plan that suits my specific needs? Well, don't do what my friend did. Go next door and ask his neighbor, Jim Bob, what plan are you on? Okay. Don't do it. And it happens too many times.
And don't call an agent who represents just one company, because believe me, they're going to try to fit you into their plan, whether it's for your best interest or not.
They have a size 4 sandal, and they're going to put that on your size 11 shoe, your foot. So, but yes, work with an independent Medicare agent. That's very important. But choosing the right Medicare plan, this is what Tom and I, and this is what our team does. We have 300 plus agents across the state of Florida that will help you decipher the Medicare maze. We'll be your guide, and we'll take you. We're like the lighthouse that's in the community, shining the light through the craziness of Medicare, and it's convoluted, it's confusing. But if you don't make the right decision the first time, I promise you the day will come that you will regret it. We will provide you an unbiased analysis that will help you choose the best plan for you. Tom?
Can I switch from a Medicare Advantage plan to a supplement plan later on in life? Well, the answer is yes, with a big
question mark.
After the first 12 months of being on a Medicare Advantage plan, if you exceed 12 months, you would have to be subject to underwriting, meaning they will ask all your health questions, and so you may or may not get approved. So there's kind of danger in waiting.
Yes. So make sure that you talk to Owen Insurance Group before you make any decisions about your Medicare plans. And number 8, the difference between what IEP means, SEP, AEP, OEP, OMG. It's just too many acronyms.
OIG.
So OIG,
Yeah,
come to
call
OIG
OIG.
and we'll educate you on the IEP, SEP, AEP, and OEP. But for time's sake, we can touch that on next week's show more about what that means. Tom, number 9.
If I'm on Medicaid, state-funded Medicaid, do I need to enroll in a Medicare plan? Well, once you turn 65, you can be on both. That's called a dual individual, a Medi-Medi. You're on both Medicare and Medicaid, and there are some great options for you. So please give us a call. We're very familiar with these plans and how to navigate the whole system for you.
Absolutely. And then number 10. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. How do I choose the right agent or agency to work with? Well, I can tell you that Owen Insurance Group, I don't know about the rest of my competitors out there, but I have higher education. I'm a graduate of the Life Underwriting Training Council Fellow, the American College. I am AHIP certified. I am NAHU certified. I'm a national speaker. I'm on the National Speakers Guild. With the National Association of Health Underwriters for Medicare. So Medicare is what we do. As Tom said earlier, we have a fiduciary duty to do what's right for our client. We don't represent just one company or one carrier. We represent all of them. So we go to work for you and uncovering the best plan for you. We educate our clients so they are well-versed and they know what plan. We will guide you down the right path, but it's up to you to choose the right plan. And we ask that you would choose the right agent, just as important as choosing the right plan. So there's our top 10 tips that you should know about Medicare. If you need more information, contact our office at 772-210-1020 and speak to one of our friendly, competent, and exciting agents. We're looking forward to speaking to you. Next week, our special guest on our show is going to be the Only Lot Brothers. These guys are fun. And Tom and I will continue sharing more information about Medicare solutions that you should know. And by the way, we want to thank you for joining us this morning. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Be sure to share us with your friends, your family, your neighbors. And remember, Treasure Coast, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life. Take care, everyone.